A law stating that the only two genders are male and female and that they are assigned at birth. That's scary.
Since so many people in the United States voted for Donald Trump for president, I'd like to know where all the big celebrations are. The fireworks and the parties and the...
People understand how much this directly impacts me. I'm so scared. I think of all the young trans kids. I think of all the LGBTQ people. I think of all my...
Folks, it's your host, the best gamer in the world, but I have a question for you. Does girl bosses ruin your video game experience? Now, I play Call of Duty. Some people say it gone too woke. The word woke gets tossed around a lot though. I do get it to a certain degree with Call of Duty, because Call of Duty Cold War, for example, was asking for pronouns, which was weird. There's moments in other games like Fortnite wanting you to vote for Kamala, which I know should be against the rules for Fortnite, because I thought they say the maps shouldn't be anything political, but well, I guess unless it's the person who you want to win, it's okay. But back to Black Ops 6, people say that it's going woke, like for example, Andy Pants here, saying some controversial stuff about Call of Duty Black Ops 6, saying it's a bad game.
When a game puts 10 ugly girl bosses in combat roles in a game, it completely ruins any kind of immersion or badass realism I felt about the game. But Angie, there's tons of women in combat roles. Nah, bruh, do some actual research. According to Pacific Standard Magazine and iCasualties.org, of all of the American PMCs who died in Iraq, guess what percentage were women? 1.3%. That means for every 100 PMCs who died in combat in Iraq, one was a woman. Do they wonder why we don't take their games seriously anymore? Ready or Not is a game I highly recommend.
It's really interesting because I would admit there does seem to be a weird thing going on in video games where they make the woman look like a troll monster coming out of the closet. But at the same time, I don't look at Call of Duty woke. I wouldn't call it immersion breaking like how he puts it when he started talking about the amount of women in the military. Then he starts talking about how there is more men than women in the military, which is true. But at the same time, I don't see a problem with women being in Call of Duty. It's a fact, men are stronger than women though. Don't forget that. But this video kind of comes off really hateful. It comes off really hateful, like to women, to be honest with you. It really does. The more I watched it, and I watched like the whole video of it, it kind of just comes off like it's the first time of me actually using the word, but it's actually, it comes off kind of like misogynistic, because it's like, oh god, it's like it really bothers you like a lot. And it's kind of like a big thing for you, huh? And it's not really that big of a thing for me. I think Call of Duty is going through a lot of other problems, but that, I don't know. I wouldn't say that's like the biggest thing there. There's another thing I'm going to be honest about. It does come off where Call of Duty is trying to push an agenda sometimes, or simply is trying to appeal to everyone. I would love politics to be out of gaming. I would like Call of Duty to just try to have fun and be cool. But folks, let's talk. Look. Everyone knows I'm the best gamer in the world, okay? Everybody knows that, okay? Like, look how attractive I am, obviously. Like, even your pet dog knows this, all right? But this needs to be said. Politics is not like an NFL team where you stick with it and be like, oh boy, I hope my team wins. Both sides can be looked at wrong. I'm sorry, it can be. There is no right side. We gotta try to be in the middle and hear both sides, and this goes back to Andy Pants. This guy comes off kind of mean, like I said, and hateful, and maybe that's just like his persona, I'm not too sure. But it is a video game, and let's now look at Call of Duty though. I don't think we should be doing the pronoun thing in a war game set before this pronoun thing was a big problem. I also don't think we need to talk about sexuality in video games, which is just flipping weird. Borderlands 3, talking about flack, sexuality, which is strange. Thought that dude is a robot, why are we talking about his sexuality? Star Wars girl, looking kind of disturbing, like what the flip is that, man? Like, I don't need to know that. I'm the best gamer of all time and wants to know the lore about games, not how they're doing the devil's tango. I do miss the times, folks, where everything wasn't so political. Like, bro, if I hear Tetris has gender ideology or something, then I'm gonna quit. Like, I'm gonna quit. Best gamer will be logging out. I don't want to hear the straight line coming out saying, I identify as ghost and ghosty. It's where I feel the energy from both Tetris blocks. Here's the thing too. I don't even think game companies even really care about the pronouns. Or even, maybe even sometimes I don't even think they really care about trans people sometimes. I feel like they're like, bro, we have to appeal to everyone, okay? So let's just do all this. It's so annoying because we should just create a good game. Video games should be a work of art, like how movies should be a work of art. And just have no political agenda getting involved into it. If you want to share your political views, then by all means do it, you know? But don't inject your ideologies in my favorite games because you want more people to know about your identity. Call of Duty has its own set of problems. Like, for example, the brand deals, the voice bans. I think personally, like I keep saying, focus on the product of Call of Duty and the rest will come. I mean, the Squid Game event is cool, I guess, but it's so out of place for Call of Duty. I also do think Squid Game Season 2 is a bit woke so far. There's a transgender person in there, and they're simply good at everything. So maybe Call of Duty does believe this woke stuff too, since they are partnered up with them. I don't have a problem with transgender people, by the way, but I just think they should be showed off as, well, kind of real, you know, and shouldn't be involving kids. You know, I also feel like I'm not asking for much, but maybe I am. I mean, at the start of the video, I said something so controversial because I don't think there's such a thing as trans kids. I just honestly want video games to just be video games, and that's kind of all I want. It's just so sad to me because Call of Duty used to be a franchise that I enjoyed when I was young, but now it just seems like they are trying to either A, be super political, or B, they're just trying to make so much money as much as possible, and they just do not care about their fans. They don't really care. Like, every time, I like, on my YouTube feed, I know you guys actually been having that on your feed as well, where it is just so much negativity, man. It is tons of negativity. And I tried to spread a little bit of positivity, but you know what? It's kind of hard, man. It's kind of hard because I spread one positivity and then all of a sudden there's like freaking 50 new things that came out. It was like, Call of Duty basically is actually hacking into your camera and actually seeing how you are enjoying the game. It is enjoyment. It is the optimization to make sure that you're enjoying your game. Make sure you're enjoying your time playing it. And it's like, oh my lord, man. It's like, they're hacking into our computers now. Like, why are they doing that? Why is that thing? But I mean, there's so many things that they're doing. In short, there's so much things that they're doing to actually make sure that you are actually can enjoy your game, that you can actually play your game and have such a fun time. And they're not even caring about the quality of the product. They're just like, you gotta stay in this game. You have to stay here. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.